Hello, and welcome to the 1998 FIRST competition from Epcot Center here in Orlando, Florida.
I'm Rick Crooks, and I'll be helping tell the story of this world-class competitive event which combines all the drama and excitement of a sporting event with the promise, effort, and reward of academics. Thanks for your interest in FIRST, and a special welcome to those of you who are tuning in at Pontiac GMC dealerships across the country for today's program.
This is the setting for the competition. We're just outside the front gates of Epcot, with huge tents constructed just for this event.
Inside 3 of these tents are stages complete with big screen video, crane cameras, lighting, and play-by-play narration. These stages are where the actual matches are played.
This is the pit area inside another tent. Teams all have a space here to work on their machines. Repairs, adjustments, fine-tuning, it all happens here. Teams have gathered here from all across the country. These are teams of high school students and their teachers and their corporate sponsors, those companies who have adopted the school and contributed time, support, and engineering expertise.
In today's broadcast, we're going to take a closer look for inspiration and recognition of science and technology, or FIRST, and find out what they're all about. We'll take a look at last year's event and review the highlights from 1997. We're going to recap the 5 regional competitions that have already been held this year. And finally, we're going to walk through the entire 1998 national competition from the practice rounds through the finals.
Now, what exactly is the purpose of FIRST? Dean Kamen is the organization's founder.
The goal of FIRST is that after kids see this stuff, particularly kids that might have never met an engineer, walk out of this thing, and if you interview the thousands of kids here, you'll see it's working, that they walk out of here saying, I could do that. This is fun.
These teams start the same way. A description of the game the robots will be playing, and a kit of standard parts, motors, wheels, bearings, radio controller. The teams start with those parts and build a robot around them, always keeping in mind size and financial restrictions. The teams can only spend $425 on raw materials.
To get a good idea of what the FIRST competition looks like and how it works, we've prepared a short video clip that reviews some of the highlights from last year's event. Take a look, and when we get back, we'll take a trip to one of this year's exciting regional competitions, and we'll profile a special team.
The 1997 FIRST competition was held at Epcot Center in Orlando and featured 150 teams. Winners of all the regional competitions were there, and a number of teams with General Motors sponsorship were also key competitors. The design of the game last year was unique. Each team has 9 tubes to place on the goal. Now that's tough enough, but add to it a truly competitive flavor. 2-minute matches where not just 1, but 2 or 3 robots from opposing teams all try to put their tubes on the goal. This playing field is a carpeted area about 38 feet across with the central goal. At the end of the match, each inner tube on the goal is worth 1 point. A tube on top of the goal doubles the score. A vertical row of a team's tubes will also double their score. GM-sponsored teams from Delco and Kokomo, Indiana High School, the Milford Proving Ground and Lakeland High School, Delphi Interior and Lighting with Pontiac, Michigan Central High School, and GM Powertrain and Pontiac Northern High School all did well.
We have an awesome machine. I think we got a good chance of winning.
There were other teams to be reckoned with. The Beatty Machine and Hammond, Indiana High School team had won the Chicago Regional and lived up to their tough reputation. The matches saw both offensive and defensive strategies employed. Success, however, was largely dependent on 3 factors. The drivers of the robots, those students behind the glass responsible for maneuvering and operating the robots via radio-linked remote controls. The durability of the robots themselves. How well did they stand up to the constant rigors of nearly hourly matches over 3 days? And the human players. They were the students standing off to the side in strictly monitored inbounds territory, tossing the inner tube. Could they place the tubes onto the rotating goal? And could they dislodge the tubes placed by their opponents? A team able to combine all of those elements would be the winner. After 3 days of national class matches, only 3 teams were left. GM Powertrain, Pontiac Northern High School, Delphi Interior and Lighting, Pontiac Central High School, and Beatty Machine, Hammond, Indiana High School. Matches played at this level are best 2 out of 3. The final competitions saw the 2 GM teams compete for the right to meet the top seed Beatty Machine team. When the dust had cleared, GM Powertrain Pontiac Northern had to settle for a 3rd place after a very hard-fought battle. Delphi Interior and Lighting Pontiac Central advanced to meet Beatty Machine. They too had to settle for 2nd best. The matches were fast-paced, action-filled, and exciting, and that was how you could describe the entire 1997 First National Competition. Here's the final top 3 places from last year. It's been a whole year since then, and starting in January, the teams regrouped, got information about the design of this year's game, got their parts and rules, and got to work. GM Powertrain headquarters in Pontiac, Michigan has again teamed with Pontiac Northern High School to form the Huskie Birgade. GM Powertrain designs and manufactures General Motors engines and transmissions. Powertrain employs 57,000 people in its 26 plants around the world. Pontiac Northern is a high school in an Oakland County, Michigan community of over 70,000. Students were recruited for the team and began the process of learning to apply their studies in a real-world application. They've been encouraged by teachers, administration, and support staff at the school. Marcia Cooper, Jim Brigham, Nancy Andreitsis, and Principal Dr. Essie McGee. All of these professionals and many others have contributed their expertise and something more, the assurance that if a student wants to participate, they'll do everything they can to help that student succeed. The students continued their normal routines, but they also began committing a lot of time and energy in their off hours to the project. There are 21 students involved. Let's meet some of them. On the GM Powertrain side, the team is again headed by staff project engineer Ken Patton, a 2-year veteran of FIRST competitions. As lead engineer, he's joined by 10 other GM Powertrain professionals. Once formed, the team worked fast. Within 6 weeks, the end result was unveiled just before shipping the robot off to the early regional competitions. The design of the robot is directly tied to a team's strategy.
A lot of teams start out and they pick a strategy and then design their robot to fulfill that strategy. And I think many teams gravitate to the same sort of strategy, but they don't necessarily have the same robot to fulfill that strategy.
Regional competitions began in very early March in Houston and ended in Michigan on March 21st. The winner of the Southwest Regional Competition was Delphi Interior and Lighting Systems and Pontiac Central High School. At the next regional competition, the Midwest Regional in Chicago, Baxter Healthcare and Mountain Home Arkansas High School took top honors. Winners of the New England Regionals were again Delphi Interior and Lighting Systems, Pontiac Central High School.
It's mid-March here in Ypsilanti, Michigan. That means a couple of things. The weather is going to be unpredictable at best, and today it's not spring-like, a cold and snowy day. It also means it's time for the U.S. First Great Lakes Regional Competition held at Eastern Michigan University.
For rookie teams attending their first regional, it was an opportunity to experience the 1998 game firsthand. The experience is a valuable one because the structure of the competition is the same as that to be held in Orlando.
This is one of two playing fields here at the U.S. First Great Lakes Regional Competition in Ypsilanti, Michigan. Now, with just a couple of weeks to go before the Orlando competition, the national competition, this is a good opportunity to take a look at these playing fields, get an overview of how the game is played, what some of the techniques and strategies are. In 2-minute matches, each of 3 teams competing remotely control their robots to place 20-inch diameter balls on rails. Balls placed inside the 8-foot-tall center section double the score. Human players try to shoot balls into the center goal or try to dislodge their opponents from the rails. These human players have an important role.
The human player is the difference between winning and losing a lot of times. The human player, if they score early, can give you a pad that allows you to go play defense or go place balls on the rails sooner. And the other thing that human players are great at is knocking balls off the rails at the end of the match. And you'll see a lot of times, 5-10 seconds left in the match, the total scoring will change because human players are knocking opponents' balls off the rails. And so human players are critical both early in the match and late in the match.
After first round double elimination play, the Delphi Pontiac Central team advanced. The GM Proving Grounds Huron Valley High team advanced, and GM Powertrain Pontiac Northern advanced. As these rounds are taking place, teams study their potential opponents and make scouting reports.
I worked on design and basically scouting, and that is looking out for teams that we might see with later on the Friday seeding matches, and basically taking down information on the way the machine is built, the team strategy, the way the drivers and the human player play, how they play the game, basically.
As crowd excitement mounted, matches moved to the next level. In the 19th match of the day, the Delphi Pontiac Central team looked very strong and was set to meet Rochester High School from Rochester, Michigan, a team with very minimal corporate support. Watch what happens between the experienced veteran Delphi team number 47 and the rookie Rochester team number 201.
1, 2, 3, go!
With me is Ken Patton, a 2-year veteran of First Competitions. Ken, tell us a little bit about what to look for here.
Okay, well, the first thing you might have seen there was Delphi knocked off one of NASA's 3-pointers as their first move in the match. Took them about 3 or 4 seconds, really efficient.
NASA Lewis East Tech is the white team. Delphi is the blue team, and Rochester is the red team. And you see Rochester there with the red ball lining up for the center to deposit that for a score doubler.
It looks like they got that from their human player, and it's likely that they're going to go back to their human for some more. Once they're in their own human player zone, it's pretty efficient to grab balls from the human, as you see there, and go to the center to dunk them.
The NASA design, the little green robot is significantly different than the others. What's the advantage there?
Well, one of the things that they do is they're very good at putting balls on the rails in a way that helps them stay there. They are able to actually wedge the ball between the rails, and that's good because it's harder to knock off with either the robot or the human player. And as you see NASA go up here, you can see that there's a tongue that slides up on the side of the ball, and it actually helps the ball get dragged in between the rails. What a great design.
Interesting. Meanwhile, Delphi is dumping them in the center quite a bit. And it looks like Rochester just tipped over. Well, Ken, can they still have a chance in this match?
They can. They still have balls in the center and balls on the rails, so that at the end of the match, that's what counts, how many points you have.
20 seconds left, and they're pretty immobile now. Delphi looks like it's positioning to protect its ball. What's going to happen here?
Looks like they're trying to knock off Rochester's ball there, the blue ball. One neat thing about the Delphi robot is it can crab sideways.
Shortly afterward, GM Powertrain number 65, GM Truck number 68, and second-seeded 3D Services Oakland Tech number 1 met in the ring.
1, 2, 3, go!
Again, this is going to be an interesting match. The number 1 seed for Ypsilanti is 3D Services. Their human player just now getting a score doubler.
And their robot's real quick to get one in. You see it about to drop the red ball in. That is one fast, efficient machine, very simple and real low, so it can go under the low rails as well. It's a great machine.
3D Services has a very impressive human player. He's getting ball after ball into the center.
Here you see Powertrain about to drop 2 in the center. 3D gets one in before him. See how quick that red machine was there.
And what's the trick to lining up? It looks like there's a little trouble there.
Yeah, it looked like they weren't quite lined up to the goal, and in fact they lost both of their balls there. Not very good.
GM truck looks like it's getting pushed around a little bit.
Yeah, it looks like they got pushed into the side rail, but they recovered. Oh, no, they didn't.
They're going down.
They're over.
They are down. Well, that leaves Powertrain in fairly good position, and it leaves 3D Services in good position.
Powertrain, it looks like they're picking up a blue ball. 45 seconds left. They're probably going to have to go for a rail score at this point.
Will they go for a 3?
It would be most likely that they'd go for a 3. Here, 3D Services is going for a 3-pointer, maybe? Yes, they are. They're going to place their 3-point ball. Very important to get that because you want to double a high score as opposed to a low score.
And they're staying there.
They're actually going to park on that to make sure that no one knocks it off. Oh, and their human player is good. Their Powertrain's going up, knocking off a 2-pointer for 3D Services. 8 seconds left.
Very impressive. What are they going to try and do here? Get
trying to knock off 3D's red ball.
Teams defeated twice are out of the competition, but have had an opportunity to learn and begin to plan for next year. Another GM Powertrain team, this one teamed with Ypsilanti, Michigan schools, thought the experience valuable.
After seeing how it worked out this year, this was a great learning year. We learned a lot of things, as well as interaction between the school and the company, the students and the engineers, students and teachers. I mean, everybody, all the relationships between everyone. We worked that out and had a better understanding of what needs to be done and when it needs to be done. And so this is a great learning year, and we're going to chalk it up as that. We're excited for next year.
Meanwhile, back at match play, GM Powertrain Pontiac Northern met Delco Electronics Kokomo High School in a quarterfinal round. These final matches are between 2 teams instead of 3 and are a best 2 out of 3 series. GM Powertrain Team 65 won the first game. Delco Electronics Team 45 won the second. Here's the third game in its entirety. Quarterfinal match, a deciding one. Powertrain has got to win this or they're going to be out. I noticed Delco hits the opponent's ball with like a jabber tool there.
That's right, Rick. Both teams know they need to play defense in a match like this, and they knock off the opponent 3-point ball right away.
Delco's robot is fast, and it can put it in from either the front or the back.
Yep, took about 25 seconds to get that second ball in there. That's pretty good.
What is Powertrain's strategy in a situation like this?
Well, the Powertrain strategy here is to try and get balls in the center goal, enough balls that you think you can beat your opponent after you place a 3-point ball on the rail. So the trick here is to have more balls in the center sooner than your opponent.
In a match like this, the human player is as important?
Probably more important, because if the human scores one early, that gives you a big advantage. Oh, their Powertrain just lost a ball. That's going to hurt them.
Looks like it might have been hit out by a human player.
Looks like Powertrain's switching to defense there. They look like they're knocking a ball off the rail. There you see them knock a blue ball off. That's going to help.
40 seconds to go. There is a lot of score doubling going on, but not a lot of scoring.
Delco Electronics here scoring another one in the center. As long as they can get something on the rails, they're going to be the winner of this one.
That was a nice play. Just needed a little tap, and that's what they gave it.
And here they go. They're placing a ball on the 3-point rail. If that ball stays there, Delco's going to win this. And you see Powertrain going up to try and knock that ball off. But Delco's got a pretty good grip. 6 seconds left. And Powertrain was unable to dislodge it from contact of both of those rails.
GM's Milford Proving Ground team had, in the meantime, advanced to the semifinal by beating every one of its opponents. And who would they meet? None other than the Delphi Pontiac Central team, back after winning against other second-place finishers. The Delphi team, 47, beat the Milford team, 67, in the first match. The second match got even hotter. Seasoned competitors in this match: Delphi, blue, Delco, red. What are we going to look for here?
Well, here looks like GM Proving Grounds is going after Delphi's ball. You see him about to take a red two-pointer off the rail as Delphi scores one in the middle. So the Proving Grounds is playing defense early.
And this is moving fast early.
Yep, that's somewhat unique with the GM Proving Ground team. They seem to play defense earlier than most other top teams.
And there they're going to try and strip out a one-point ball, it looks like, while Delphi works on replacing a three-point.
That's right. Could be that they believe that Delphi has the potential to beat them in the center, so they're going to try and take off all their rail balls. Oh, they're caught on a ball.
Proving Ground is in trouble there. It looks like they're just about to lose their balance, or very close to it.
Yeah, that's not good. Their drive wheels are off the ground, so they can't move the robot. All they can do is move the arm up and down and hope to rock the robot off that ball.
With less than a minute to go, they are unable to do anything until they can get off of there.
Yeah, that's not good.
And in the meantime, of course, Delphi has its own way and continues to drop them into the center.
Yep, looks like they're about to score another.
Things are not looking good. Nope,
they went over.
That is not good for the Proving Ground. And their chances in this match, I think, are going to be pretty slim.
They're very limited now. Unless their human player has some balls to play defense, they're pretty much out of it. Delphi's scoring at will in the center, and it looks like they've got 4 in the center.
And a three-point ball sitting unprotected over there and unmolested. It'll stay there.
And Milford's human player has no balls to throw, so it looks like Delphi's got this one.
In the other semifinal, Delco Electronics, Team 45, always only one game away from elimination, had advanced to meet number 2 seed 3D Services Oakland Tech, team number 1. Delco won to advance to the final. The day had started with 31 teams. 2 were left. The Delco team tried valiantly but lost the first game of the 2 out of 3 final series. They were again where they'd been all day, one game away from elimination. Here's game 2 of the final. Ken, this is going to have to be a fast match with 2 teams like Delphi and Delco.
Yep, you see Delphi right away knocked off the opponent three-point ball there. Delco's playing D early also. See him knock off a blue.
Is that typical for them?
I guess I'm not sure if it's typical, but when you get into the one-on-one matches in the quarterfinals and semifinals and finals, it's more typical that you play defense because there's only one other team to worry about.
And Delphi immediately starts putting them into the center, and there the human player just got one.
So Delphi's got 3, Delco's got 2, and it looks like one more here. Pretty even in the center.
They have a very dependable method of getting that in there.
They sure do. Those rollers on the gripper seem to work pretty well.
Delphi matching them.
That was fast. That was fast. Delphi's got a great machine.
1 minute left to go.
They missed that one.
Failing to grab.
You see how that machine crabs sideways there? That's a great design.
And it looks like Kokomo's having a little bit of trouble maneuvering to the center, but they make it.
Yeah, they're still playing offense, still loading that center goal.
Drop another one. Now here, should they be thinking about protecting? Oh, there it is.
Well, there it goes. Looks like they've got a couple one-pointers and a two-pointer left, but they're going to need a 3 to come out ahead. Looks like Delco's trying to set their three-point ball on the rail, and Delphi's setting theirs on the rail. And they're both going to hold till the end.
To prevent human players from knocking them off.
That's right. There, Delphi lets off. Delco's human player must not have a ball. That's why they let go of it.
Delphi Interior and Lighting Systems Pontiac Central High School was the winner of this Great Lakes regional and 2 other regional competitions, making them an automatic favorite in the national competition. GM Powertrain Pontiac Northern, in addition to experience gained in advancing all the way to the quarterfinals, won the Best Sportsmanship Award, an important award for Ken Patton.
It makes me feel really good as a team member to win that award, because one of the things that this whole competition is about is good sportsmanship, and they place a lot of emphasis on it, and it makes everybody on our team feel great to be part of a team that wins that award. And that is a total team effort, no question.
Back to the national event in Orlando, the Huskie Birgade has taken their powered dog robot from its shipping crate, and they've started taking part in early practice rounds. One afternoon in Orlando is set aside just for practice rounds, giving teams one more opportunity to fine-tune before the seeding rounds begin. Seeding takes place on the second day of the competition. The teams, over 150 of them, begin competing in 2-minute matches. These matches determine ranking and opponents in the upcoming double elimination rounds. It's important for teams to be at the right stage at the right time. The coordination and scheduling never stops. Scouting also continues. Teams send members to learn all they can about upcoming opponents. As the excitement and volume of the crowds grow, the matches get underway. The white team, GM Milford Proving Ground Huron Valley Schools, meets the blue team, Johnson & Johnson Bridgewater Raynham High School, and the red team, UTC Pratt & Whitney South Fork High School, in this match. Here's the play-by-play. Some proven performers in this match: GM Proving Ground, Milford, Lakeland High School, Harbor High School. UTC Pratt & Whitney is the red team, Johnson & Johnson Professional, the blue team. Not a lot of scoring going on right now, some maneuvering for position. I see the Proving Ground has one. Looks like they're going to be going up for a center score, or center doubler.
Well, it looks like a human player for the red team just wedged one through the rails. That looks like it's good enough to count. It's just got to be inside the rails, the center of the ball.
That looks like a difficult thing to do. Is it a common approach?
There's some teams that are very good at it, and so it is relatively common. There you see one out of 2 blue balls got in the center.
Milford looking pretty strong. The Proving Ground looking pretty strong, putting the ball.
We're having a little trouble getting in towards the goal because there's a ball at the base of the robot blocking them.
Johnson & Johnson, I guess, is actually really getting pretty dependable, picking them up, putting them in.
Yeah, J&J got 2 of them in there. It's pretty good.
Now, there's not a lot of defensive move here. There's not a lot of balls being knocked off.
You're right. Everyone's playing offense for the first part of the match. There you see, with 35 seconds left, GM Proving Ground going to play defense, and they're going on one rail and getting one of each of their opponent's balls. So that's a good, efficient move for that team.
And in the meantime, Johnson & Johnson just continuing to try and double their score. They dropped one there.
They lost one, and you see they backed away from the center. They're going to go to a 3-point rail because there's only 12 seconds left. And Proving Ground is going to do the same thing here. Just a few seconds left, and everyone's scoring on the rails.
Despite an excellent last-minute placement by Milford, the Johnson & Johnson team prevails. Just as the blue Chrysler Avondale, white NASA Johnson Space Center, and red GM Truck Oakland Tech Center meet for a match.
You see the red team's human player, the ball actually bounced back to him, and he got another shot.
Human player for the truck group loading up the robot.
Chrysler just dropped one in the middle. You see how the GM truck group there can carry 2 balls on their gripper.
That gripper design is kind of different. I haven't seen a lot like that.
I think the reason it's different is that second ball, as you can see, it just fell off the top. It's not gripped very robustly, so it's not as reliable a score as the first ball. Looks like Chrysler's going to get another one here as Truck's going for another ball to put in the center. No, they're going to give it to their human. Oh, they're going to have their human player add one to the center and go score two again.
They don't have the capability of actually picking two up with just the robot.
That's right. They can pick up the first one, but the human's got to add the second one, and they got them both that time.
That may be a liability.
It makes it tougher because it limits your flexibility in picking up balls. They're great at playing defense, though. You see how quick they knocked off that two-pointer.
20 seconds to go, and NASA is in actually pretty good shape with numerous balls in the two-pointer position.
And here everyone's going for the rails to try and score their three-pointer on the rails.
13 seconds left.
You see Chrysler with the blue one dropped on.
And the truck's got a 6 seconds to go, and they put one there.
Yep, that's it.
GM Truck gets the win. Now, the match immediately following, and what turned out to be a scoring clinic. Blue Delphi Pontiac Central meets white Vero South Garland and red Engineered Solutions Hoboken High School.
Any match with Delphi is going to be a tough one. They're proven performers with 3 regional competitions under their belt this year.
Yep, they knocked off a white ball right at the start. Pretty typical for them. Looks like they're with only 15-20 seconds in, they're dunking one in the top pretty fast.
The red team Engineered Solutions human player able to wedge or push the ball through the side of the rail of the center doubler.
Yep, that's an advantage sometimes if somebody's at the top dropping a ball in and you can wedge one through the side. That gives you more flexibility with the human play.
A lot of human player activity here.
Yeah,
balls are flying all over.
They tried to knock one off on the opposite rail and just succeeded in wedging it in deeper. Delphi gets another one in the center.
1 minute to go. Not a lot of action with these robots. They're not moving around all that much.
It looks like picking up the balls is pretty tough, and that's an Achilles heel for a lot of robots. And it makes it difficult to score if you can't get the ball in the gripper quick. There's another one for Delphi. They have a great gripper arm. You see how fast that moves. That's a big advantage.
And is that something that's designed in right from the beginning?
That's designed in. It's a good design.
Red team is looks like they're feeling some pressure here. They are in pretty good position. They've got some balls, one in the 3-point position, one in the 1-point position. 20 seconds to go, and Delphi has one in the 3-point position.
Yeah, and they've got it. It's wedged in over there, so that's good for them. That'll help them probably win this match. Truman shoots one more and makes it.
Delphi again shows the style they used to win 3 regional competitions. Now, another regional winner, the blue Baxter Mountain Home, Arkansas Bomb Squad. They're going against the white team of Hitachi Oak Ridge High School and the red team of Rochester High School.
This is going to be tough. Anyone taking on the Baxter Mountain Home has got their work cut out for them.
They call themselves a bomb squad, and they've got a great machine. It wedges balls through the rails and can wedge multiple balls at a time, and that's a great advantage for the bomb squad.
A lot of the robots that we've seen in Rochester, the red team is a good example of the sort of pick and place as opposed to the wedger. What's the advantage? Is one better than the other?
I don't know that one's better than the other, but the wedging machines can score balls when somebody's at the top. Right now, Rochester's at the top, and you see the bomb squad injecting their blue balls right into the goal, and you notice it almost blocks the top of the goal.
They could conceivably wedge balls up there and not allow any opponent's balls to get in there.
That's right. It's possible, and they have done it before. You see, and they spend a little more time picking up balls because they put multiple balls into their arm. You see their human throw it into the back of that arm? That's an efficient design. Look at that. That's great. They've got 3 balls, and they're probably going to send them all into the center goal. It's hard to beat something like that.
In the meantime, Rochester's still hanging fairly tough, a team with not a lot of support, but they've done pretty well.
Yep, they're playing defense, and that works. You see how Bomb Squad's got their 3 balls all in there, and there's 33 seconds left. They've still got a 3-pointer over on the rail, and if Bomb Squad can hold that, they've got this match won.
Now, can their design facilitate protecting that 3-point ball?
Yes, it can, and you see their human player just threw another one into the back of the robot. And Bomb Squad's going to run around to the other 3-point rail. And what they have on their robot is a suction cup that actually helps hold the ball in place on the rails at the last seconds. It's a really neat design.
And another win for Baxter. In this close scoring affair, the red team, GM Powertrain Pontiac Northern, meet with the blue Rochester team and the white Johnson & Johnson Salem High School team. Power Dog is trying to get a hold of a red ball to place.
They're having a little trouble with that white ball there. That's a common problem. Picking up balls is tough.
Rochester, the blue team, dropping one into the center where they've already got at least one.
They've got another. It looks like they're going to their human for yet another, and that's good for Rochester. They're able to score at will here, it looks like.
And they're in good scoring position. They've got 2 balls in 2-point range and at least one that is in the 1-point area. Power Dog coming in with 2.
Powertrains, looks like they're going to drop 2 of them, and Rochester knocks off Powertrain's 3-pointer. So Rochester playing defense at the right time there. There's only 30 seconds left, and Powertrain's left with only a 1-pointer on the rails.
And not too many balls in the center.
Rochester's got, their 2-pointer just got knocked off the rail. Rochester needs another rail score here, it looks like, and Powertrain needs one as well. They knocked off the white ball, so Powertrain's playing defense towards the end.
Now, watch the impact a human player can have. The blue team, UTC Edsel Ford High School, and the white team, Johnson & Johnson Bridgewater, and the red team, McNeil Philly, go at it. Match underway. UTC Edsel Ford is the blue team, and their human player just gets one right in the center without going over the top. Red team.
There's another one in the center through the rails. It's a good human player.
Red team looks like they're going to load up their robot. That's McNeil and the Philly 4.
They're holding 3 at a time. If they can get all those in there, that'll be a big score.
Well, that's a little unusual. I've seen 2 go in from robots, including Powertrain's design. Not many I've seen with 3.
It's a little scary with all those balls up there. Real high center of gravity as you see them tip over, but they get them all. That's great.
Everyone's still leaving the balls on the rails right now.
Yeah, well, they're going to have to switch to rails now. The center's full, so they can't do too much more there.
Now, would a wedger help get balls into the center in this situation?
It probably would. You might be able to wedge one in some of the airspace that's left in that center goal.
One of the blue 3-point balls just got knocked off. And the red one.
Yep, Blue's only got a 1-pointer on there.
Johnson Bridgewater is going through and methodically removing opponent balls from the rails. And gets a placement over the 3-point section of the rail pretty efficiently.
Looks pretty good. And Only 20 seconds left. If that stays, they might win the match. They almost tipped over there. They look pretty scared up there high. Johnson, Bridgewater. Everyone's trying to place their three-pointers right now as McNeil tries to knock off a 2 and makes it a 1.
The result is a win for Johnson & Johnson Bridgewater.
This final day of competition begins with double elimination matches. Now, just like what you saw earlier with the Great Lakes Regional Competition, teams that lose 2 matches are out.
In this early match, GM Powertrain Pontiac Northern take on Ariel Roosevelt High School.
1, 2, 3, go!
Match is underway. Powertrain is the blue team. Powertrain Pontiac Northern High School. Ariel is the white team.
See Powertrain suck that ball up with what they call their chute, and it rolls it right up into the grip line.
I don't see them do that often.
They do it when they want to pick up 2 balls. There's another one into their chute. So it looks like Powertrain's going to the middle. They can get around all the balls in front of them there. Score there too.
And the white team, Ariel, I noticed giving balls to its human player.
It looks like Ariel's trying to sneak in there in front of Powertrain, and they do. They aced Powertrain out of that spot.
Forcing them around the corner. Still a great opportunity to get balls from that center doubler.
Sure is. Not a whole lot of action here yet. Here's Powertrain dropping 2 in the center.
They get both.
And Ariel's back with another one.
And the player tries to dislodge that, but fails.
Powertrain's looking around for some balls, as are the other teams there.
See Powertrain got another one to the shoot.
Looks like here they're going to their human for the next one. And they're going to score 2 more. If they get these 2 in the center, they'll have 4. And as long as they have some good rail scores, that'd be enough to win this match.
And they do get both.
They got them. The white team's got quite a few in the center there as well. Powertrain doesn't look like they have enough to win here. They've only got balls on the 2-point spots. They've got a lot of balls in the middle. Here's where we need to do our math.
And 5 seconds to go.
Not much time here.
Score coming up. The winner with 128 points is the 9th-seeded Huskie Birgade. There can be surprises, too. Many familiar names to you did well, but were eliminated after placing 3rd twice. Delphi Pontiac Central was eliminated to some surprise given their 3 regional wins. 8th-seeded and highly regarded Team 111 Motorola Rolling Meadows and Wheeling High School lost 2 matches and was out. The GM Truck Group, Oakland Tech Center North, was eliminated, losing their 2nd match late in the day. Highly seeded at number 2 and highly regarded, the Baxter Bomb Squad was eliminated, ironically, by another team with Baxter support. Beatty Machine Hammond Indiana High School, the defending 1997 national champs, remained strong throughout the day.
No one has ever repeated in this thing in the 7 years it's been run. So I don't know. It's a lot of very, very good machines and very, very tough teams, more so this year than last. And it'll take a whole lot of luck and a whole lot of doing, but this team can do it. There's a possibility. We have what it takes to do it.
But just before the quarterfinals, even Beatty Machine Hammond Indiana High School, Team Hammond, was defeated, though it took opponents all day to do it.
Regardless of the outcome, teams have found the experiences leading up to and including the matches on this final day to be rewarding, instructional, and fun.
The Jenks Jesters from Central and Southwest Services, Public Service of Oklahoma, and Jenks High School had a great experience, but packed up earlier than they would have liked after 2 tough matches.
We actually won our first round, and we lost our last 3 rounds, but we scored close. It was a close game.
After 3 days of competition, often intense competition between teams competing in practice rounds, seeding matches, and double elimination matches, we're just moments away from finding out who will be the 1998 first national champion. The quarterfinals are just underway inside this tent. Teams at this level must win 2 matches out of 3 to advance to the semifinals.
The Huskie Birgade, after winning every one of their matches, met Bell Atlantic Greenwich High School. The GM Powertrain team wins the quarterfinal in 2 matches. Meanwhile, on another stage, the GM Proving Ground Milford, Lakeland, and Harbor High School Hotbot team meet Raytheon Systems Greenville. Human player feeding the Milford team robot, Raytheon coming in and giving its human player a blue ball. I'm not sure I understand the strategy there.
What they're doing there is they're going to play defense. No, they're going to play offense with that blue ball. That's the ones they're trying to score. And looks like they're having their human player shoot balls in the center. And that way their robot can do work and their human player can do work at the same time.
Raytheon robot does not look capable of a great deal of height.
No, they're a relatively low machine. They're a good wedging machine, though. They can wedge balls in underneath the rails, so they are a very unique design.
46 seconds left. The Proving Ground team is stripping the Raytheon balls off the rails.
Yep, they've only got 1 3-pointer left, it looks like.
And the Proving Ground, in the meantime, has 3 already in scoring position and another one on its way.
Yeah, they've got points to spare if they can Raytheon's last blue ball there.
20 seconds, less than 20 seconds, and Raytheon really needs to get a ball onto that rail.
Yeah, you see GM Proving Ground going for Raytheon's 3-pointer there.
9 seconds left.
The 3-pointer's gone. Raytheon has nothing on the rails.
The Hotbot team wins decisively in 2 matches, advancing to the semifinals. Also advancing were Delco Electronics Kokomo High School, after 2 shutouts against Team 132, Panzer Aluminum Ely High School.
1, 2, 3, go!
Panzer Aluminum off and running. Didn't take them long, and Delco is also quick to start. Panzer's human player scores an almost immediate score doubler, and follows it up with yet another one.
A lot of early scoring. That underhanded throwing technique of their human player seems pretty reliable.
Going for his third, and gets his third.
3, that's great. That's a huge advantage to score 3 that early.
Delco Electronics robot moving at its usual blistering pace. It's all over the place early on. Interesting way to hold on to the ball from the Panzer side. Talk about that.
Yeah, it's a pretty unique gripper arm. You see it dropped one there, though. Not a whole lot of structure in that arm, so possibility of dropping a ball is increased. There you see Delco pulling off a 1-pointer. If they're spending time on a 1-pointer, that means they're going to try and take off all the rest of the rail balls.
Less than a minute to go, and they line up for the doubler.
Yep. And they're holding 2 balls in the robot, so you see they'll reach down and grab another. There's a ball in the way. This is efficient because they don't have to move the robot. They can stand right there. Oh, I guess not. They're actually, they pushed it right through the rails to knock off the blue 2-pointer. And with 30 seconds left, they're going to drop a 3-pointer on the rail.
Nicely done. Lots of economy of movement.
Yep. They have obviously thought this strategy out in detail.
And they're going to stay and protect it.
Looks like they're going to hold it there.
14 seconds left. Panzer looks like they're in trouble.
Yep, looks like they're caught on the rail.
The Naval Undersea Warfare Center Middletown High School team also won a quarterfinal and proceeded to meet GM Powertrain Pontiac Northern. This tough semifinal went the full 3 rounds, but only one team would advance to the final. The Naval Undersea Warfare Center, Middletown, advances. Meanwhile, a GM matchup was taking place not far away. Delco Electronics Kokomo shut out the GM Proving Ground in the first match of their semifinal. Here's match 2.
1, 2, 3, go!
2 GM teams, and Delco Kokomo comes out as usual with the plunger pushing balls off the rail.
That quickly knocks the ball off the rail, and then they retract it so they can actually use that again.
141, and the Proving Ground human player feeds one to the robot and drops one in.
And Delco follows. They're staying pretty even in the center right now.
Minute and a half.
With both teams playing offense, it's really important to score more in the center than the other team, and that usually helps determine the winner.
Playing with just 2 robots in the ring, is that easier?
It's probably a little easier, although the other team is more capable of focusing on their opponent, so it makes playing defense easier also.
Delco Kokomo's articulated back on its robot allows it to move under those rails a little more easily than most.
They're a little more mobile underneath the rails, and you see they can just park there and put 2 in, very efficient.
And they don't have to have a real good grip on the ball, it just stays.
Yeah, that looks pretty robust. Although the GM Proving Grounds gripper is also very robust. You see him take another one off the rails. They're one of the best machines at doing that.
27 seconds left. And 1 GM team is going to advance out of this.
You know these teams are good when with 20 seconds left they're still dropping balls in the center. That's confidence.
The red ball still in the 3-point position over there.
And you see Delco protecting their red ball. Looks like they're probably going to win here.
The stage was set for the finals. Team 67, Delco Electronics, seeded 53 at the beginning of the day, takes on the Naval Undersea Warfare Center. Both teams start strong, but soon problems develop. Delco wins match 1. They are 1 win away from the national title. Match 2 of the finals gets underway after the problems are remedied. Delco Electronics Kokomo High School were the first General Motors sponsored team to participate in these competitions, and that experience pays off in this match. Match underway, and it's Kokomo and the Naval Undersea Warfare Center.
We saw a Naval Undersea Warfare Center try and knock off the Kokomo 3-point ball, and they were unsuccessful in doing so.
Now it looks like the Naval Undersea Warfare Center is not too shy about getting in the way.
No, they're a very good defensive team, and with that sponsor, I guess you could probably imagine why. You see they're feeding their human player with the ball, and it looks like their human is going to knock off an opponent ball. Oh, you see how the human got that ball right back?
Good strategy there.
Sure is, and the robot head handed the human another ball.
That's aggressive play by the human players. I don't see that a lot.
It sure is. And Delco Kokomo here dropping 2 in
quick order.
That's a good design. Allows them to do that very reliably. And Naval Undersea Warfare Center gave their human player another. Looks like he was trying to knock off the 3-pointer on the other side.
35 seconds left.
With only 35 seconds, Delco Kokomo's got the center pretty much won. And so now it's a fight on the rails.
And they've got a ball in the 3-point position and one in the 1-point position. They may lose it right here.
Yeah, they still have time to go to the center. That's guts for Kokomo.
And confidence.
Yeah, with 9 seconds left, they got that last one up there, and their human player
knocks it away. Yep. That clinches it. Yep. The competition is over, and there is a new champion.
That's going to do it for our broadcast today, and congratulations to Delco Electronics and Kokomo, Indiana High School on their 1998 first national championship. Delco Electronics and Kokomo High School are 7-year veterans of FIRST competitions, and this is their first national title. Everything that you've seen here today is every bit as interesting and fun and worthwhile as it appears. We would encourage you to get involved. For more information on how to get involved, contact FIRST. And again, thanks for watching.